Hey everybody, my name is Sunny Lake and I am so glad to be joining you for Mobile Mondays with the North Carolina Realtors. You guys have a really great association that provides awesome education and I am so excited for the opportunity to talk with you guys today. So feel free as you are jumping in to ask any questions that you might have. If I don't get to them right away, know that I will definitely circle back at the end and answer all of your questions that you might have. So yeah, feel free to jump in. I will definitely answer them as they come if I can, but if I miss it, I will circle back. Again, my name is Sunny Lake, and if you didn't see what Tyler had posted earlier, I am going to be talking today a little bit about showing value as a realtor in between the times your clients need them. So when they do need a realtor, you are going to be the one that they think of, because we'll be honest, most people know at least 5 or 6 realtors, and you guys have some amazing ones in North Carolina. So I am just here to help you guys show some real value as realtors between the times that your clients need them. First off, I'm going to tell you a little secret. There's absolutely no secret to success in real estate. There's no secret sauce, there's no silver bullet. It's just hard work and being consistent and showing up when your clients need you. And even when your clients don't need you, showing up as a realtor and working through all of the information about being a homeowner. A lot of people want to buy leads, which is fine, but you actually have a really good resource of people all around you for potential business. Your friends, your family, they are past colleagues, they are people that you go to school with or your kids go to school with, they are people in your community that you are around every day. And most of them know that you're a realtor, and if they don't, they should know. So I'm going to give you some ways to definitely let them know in case you haven't. And if you are new to town, because I know North Carolina is absolutely booming and people are moving in all the time, and if you haven't built those circles yet in North Carolina, I'm going to talk to you also about geographic farming. You'll be able to share the same information with people either in your sphere, or if you're doing geographic farming, you'll be able to share the same information, but I will also talk to you about building that geographic farm as well and what to look for. When Inman did a study a few years ago, they noted that almost 60% of people's clients in the history of their career on the buyer side come from friends, family, or referrals, people that they already know. Very few come, like under 11%, come from internet leads. So most of your buyer clients are going to be coming to you from people that you already know. So you should be loving on those people that you already know, and I'll be showing you how to do that. And almost 70% of your listing clients will be coming from people that you already know. So again, these are your friends, your family members, these are people that you go to church with, people that your neighbors, people that you're in communities with, different service groups. These are people that know you, trust you, and think that you're wonderful, but they don't always think about using you. One, because you're not coming to them with information between the times they need a sale, and they probably do know other people. And two, maybe you haven't asked for the business. So I'm going to give you some great ideas on asking for the business in a non-sleazy way, because I know that that is hard for a lot of people to go and ask for business from people that you already know. I'm not going to have you pick up the phone and say, hey, do you know anyone who's buying or selling real estate? We're not doing that. I'm not going to encourage any of you guys to do that. But I am going to encourage you to stay top of mind by providing great information all the time. Nobody wants to be looked at like a lead. We all want to be looked at like people. So that's how we're going to take care of all of our people. We're going to serve all of our people with really great information. One thing that you can do for everybody in your sphere, whether you've sold them a house or not, is provide them with an anniversary CMA report. You can do this with your past clients, but if you're new into the business and you don't have past clients yet, you do know where people live. You can pull their addresses. You can see in public records what they paid for their home. And you can actually put together a complimentary CMA report that you can send them every year. Even if they're not ready to sell, even if they're not ready to maybe buy something new, or if they're thinking about doing some sort of investment property, you can absolutely do a CMA and send that to them, because people are always curious what their home is worth. Doesn't matter who you are. People are always curious. People are always looking at Zillow for this estimate. They're always driving around. I even drive around and wonder what people's homes are worth. So if I'm doing it, and I've been in real estate 13 years, you can guarantee people who aren't in the industry are always curious about what their homes are worth. So you can do anniversary CMA reports. Another thing you can do for everybody, and it's a really good way to show value and your expertise and your professionalism, is providing economic news. North Carolina is booming in a lot of areas, and that has an impact on real estate. If companies are moving in, if people are moving in or out of the state, it definitely has an impact on the state overall, as well as real estate and home values. So providing people with economic news, you can put that on your Facebook page. You can send that out in a newsletter. You can email it to people that live in certain pockets of the area as well. If a new business is moving in, definitely say, hey, by the way, we've got this new company coming in. They're bringing in this many new employees. This is what could be potentially happening in real estate in your neighborhood. So sending people those kind of updates is really, really helpful, and it shows tons of value. You can also send people maintenance checklists. I sold, which is 5 years ago. I've been in management for the last 5 years. But I always encourage my agents as well to send out maintenance checklists quarterly. I lived in the Pacific Northwest, and our weather was sometimes a little bit crazy. And so maintenance checklists really helped. And it's just a good reminder for people to take care of their home, because they're protecting their investment. Protecting your assets, protecting your investments, always valuable for anybody. There are also policy issues, things that are happening in specific neighborhoods, or in cities overall. Send policy issues. What are government officials talking about? What kind of things are they trying to raise money for? Where is that money going? And how does that impact homeownership? We had an issue where I lived where the county was people in the county were no longer allowed to drill wells. So, and we had a lot of rural properties. So if people owned acreage and they didn't have a well or a home on the property yet, they weren't going to be able to develop that land anymore, because they couldn't get a water source. That's huge. It has a huge impact on property value and what people are able to do. So keep your sphere, keep your friends, your family, past colleagues, keep those people informed of things like that that are happening in the local government, because it makes a big difference. You would do it for anybody that you were driving around. You would do it for all of your clients that you have in the car with you as you're out taking them to look at properties. So why aren't you doing that? If you are, kudos for you. But if you're not doing that for the other people in your sphere, you really should consider doing that, because it does show them that you're a professional. It shows them that you're more than just selling a home, but you're actually helping them protect their investment. So make sure that you're showing up for them as a realtor, even between times they don't need one. And when they do need one, you're going to move from the top of the sales funnel of just awareness down to the bottom of the sales funnel, where they actually are considering you and wanting to use you as a realtor. Because service is really the best lead generation there is. So provide this excellent service. Provide service between the times you're working with them. And that will be the best lead generation tool you've got. And it's actually almost free in a lot of cases. All you have to do is spend a little time looking for these bits of information, and you can share them socially. You can also pay for a newsletter service or do direct mail, but a lot of it doesn't cost that much money, and it has huge impact and huge value for your clients as well as your sphere. You don't have to have sold them anything before. You can just send them great information, and they're going to appreciate it. And my recommendation for touches with your sphere is a monthly email. I think newsletters are great. There's some great systems that are really inexpensive. I love the Emma platform. You can also do it through MailChimp, Constant Contact. There are so many resources that I won't dive down that rabbit hole, but there are so many great systems that you can use for email newsletters, and they're really easy. All you have to do is drop the information in. So I would suggest a monthly newsletter. I actually really like direct mail. I know that nobody thinks direct mail is sexy, but it actually really works. And so I always suggest a direct mail 2 times a month, quarterly phone calls to all of your sphere. automatic neighborhood updates. One of my good friends in New Jersey, Sharon Steele, calls it the nosy neighbor alert. She sets it up through her MLS and sends it out to people, and they get automatic updates whenever a new listing comes on, new pending, new sale. Any time that anything changes in someone's neighborhood, they know right away. She doesn't even have to do it. She just sets it up and they go out automatically. Anniversary CMA reports, I mentioned those earlier. And then I think 30 minutes a day on social media. Sean Carpenter last week, I believe he said you can do it in 15 minutes a day, and that works too. I would say no more than 30 minutes, because if you can get it all done in 15 to 30 minutes, that is going to be maximum impact, and you will not get sucked into the holes that can happen with social media. I also like putting people on a list that I called my most valuable relationships, and I could actually just click on that, pull up all the people in my Facebook sphere, and I could see what was happening, so I could have really quick connections with them, see what was going on, and be able to touch those people without having to sift through all of the other noise on Facebook. And my agents a lot of times would say, Sunny, I don't know what to post. And I'd say, well, you can post things about neighborhood events. If there's going to be a triathlon in the area, traffic is going to be impacted for sure. If there is construction around a new project that is coming up that might impact traffic or might actually alter traffic patterns. I'm in Denver right now, and I guess one of the large interstates is going to be going through a major renovation. Tell people about that before it happens, get them prepped, let them know what to expect, and show that you are an expert in what's going on in the area at large, not just in what homes are selling for, because all of it impacts your life, and life really is what we're selling, the lifestyle here, not just the four walls of a house. For those of you who might be new to the area and would like to do geographic farming, the farm selection is one of the most important parts. I would suggest picking a neighborhood that you like, either one that you live in yourself or one that you like working in, maybe one that you've sold before and you really like the area and you know that your clients love living there. Either it has access to parks, it's really close to shopping, great schools, something like that. Pick an area that you like. I think between 200 and 400 homes is a really good place to start as far as something that you can keep up with. And the costs are pretty low to do geographic farming for 200 to 400 people. You can usually do a mailing for about 70 cents a piece, and that is out the door with postage. So if you do those mailings twice a month to a geographic farm between 200 and 400, that is a really good size, and it's very manageable and financially feasible, especially if you're new in the business. Make sure that it is a neighborhood that turns over, that it has really good turnover as far as people moving in and out. If it's one that people move in and it never sells, maybe there's 5% turnover in a year, that's probably not a good one to pick. I would say between 10 to 15% turnover in a year is great. My old neighborhood was fantastic for that because it was one that it was a great starter neighborhood, as well as they did have a section that was good for move-up buyers as well. Really good schools. People did farm that neighborhood, but they were usually farming it with recipe cards. So send recipe cards unless it's something amazing and you're going to actually leave someone a pie to go with that recipe card. If you're making a pie and you're going to drop that off at someone's house, do that, because I might actually call you if you drop off a pie on my front door. That is the way to my heart. Valerie Garcia, who was with you guys a couple weeks ago, that would be the way to her heart as well. There's nothing wrong with pie. You also need to be really consistent with everything that you do. So if you decide that you're going to do this, make sure that you are make a year commitment. Say, okay, I'm going to do direct mail. I'm going to do it twice a month, and I'm going to commit to a year. Because it's not like the first 2 or 3 mailings you're going to see results. You have to commit to making this a process that you're going to be doing. So commit to a year, do 2 deliveries a month, preview every new listing in that neighborhood. Make sure that you are out. If you like door knocking, I would suggest that you do it. If you like that neighborhood, make sure that people are seeing your name on the postcard, but also seeing you out and about in that neighborhood. So they start to make that connection that you know what you're doing. But every time you preview a home in that neighborhood, you're going to leave your business card, and they're going to say, oh, you actually are really invested in this area. And maybe next time they're going to sell, or maybe they'll tell their neighbors, oh, by the way, Rosemary's amazing. She sends us all this great information, and then she also, she knows the inventory, she knows what's happening in our area, so she's very invested. So make sure you're doing those little things, showing up and providing value, and being that consistent resource of really good information on topics that impact homeownership. Again, economic news, government affairs. Talk to your government affairs director for the state or your local association. They are a wealth of information that's really great and useful, and absolutely can help you stay in touch with all of your people with stuff that really matters to them. So be there for them before they need you. And that way, when they do need you, you're going to be the one that they call. So if you've got any questions, definitely let me know. And I really appreciate everyone's time today. Have a great Monday.